Hey everyone, so today let's see why do modern businesses need AWS EC2 in the first place. The one word answer is scalability. So let's say there is a cosmetic company which sells their products through online website, and how do they used to sell their products in 2010 is using old school setup, which is before the cloud. Like all these businesses which sell products through online e-commerce websites, they used to maintain on-site servers. So these hardware sits physically in the office. It got a fixed capacity of physical properties of servers like RAM, hard disk, and network and storage capabilities. This process worked really fine as long as the traffic was predictable. And with the new social apps like Instagram and TikTok, there are really good influencers who do good reviews on products, which really spiked the number of people visiting the website and trying to order when this particular video by an influencer is getting viral. During these times, whenever there is huge number of people visiting the website, the result is system failure. Like the website crashes, customers get frustrated and leave, and all those sales opportunities generated by these influencers are lost forever by the company or the cosmetic company. So the CEO started a strategy meeting trying to discuss what do we need to actually do in order to not lose these customers, and one of the engineers suggested to order a new capacity of servers, which might take few weeks to set up everything and use them. But the real uh, cost is like whenever all this traffic drops, when there are not huge number of people visiting our website, we are wasting huge amount of money on these new servers. And can we do anything about this kind of issue? And the answer for these is AWS EC2. So what exactly is an AWS EC2? AWS EC2 are a set of servers which are cloud native. They are present in cloud where we can use them whenever we want. So we pay for them as we use them. We don't pay in advance. So you basically rent the servers whenever there is a traffic spike, and then you leave those servers, stop or terminate those servers. So you can just use only the servers that you need for your regular traffic. But whenever you had a huge spike in the traffic, you can rent all these new servers to address or solve the issues of your customers. The main three things of EC2 is elasticity, cost effective, and reliability. So what exactly is elasticity? As we discussed earlier, it is a synonym of scalability. So whenever an influencer posts something about your product and there are suddenly huge number of customers visiting your website, you can scale the servers behind your website as needed. Whenever there are no new people visiting your website, you can scale them back to your basic amount of servers. This is really cost effective because you don't need to wait for weeks for your servers, and you don't need to order advance order or like pre-order your servers and pay for those servers no matter you had customers or not. So you're gonna pay for your servers only when you have customers for your website. And since AWS is like a global infrastructure, this is really reliable. We can handle the global traffic spikes without crashing our local machines or local website. So let's see how we can create an EC2 instance using AWS console. Go to EC2 in your AWS console and click on launch EC2 instance. And you get a really bunch of options which you have to select. And let's say we give a name to our server, EC2 first, something really bad name. And we have to select the AMIs. What are AMIs? Amazon Mission Images. So AMI contains the OS settings and other applications that you will use in your server. AWS has many pre-built AMIs that we can use, and there are also few custom AMIs in the marketplace. And let's go with basic AMI, Amazon Linux, which is free, and then you select our instance type. So the instance type decides the physical properties of our instance or server. Like, let's say, see, this is T3 micro, which got 2 CPUs, 1 gigabyte memory, and if you change with different instance types, you can see different memory and different CPUs. Let's go with free tier eligible, and there is key pair login which is needed to access our EC2. We can look about it later. And coming down, you can see about these network settings, which is like default VPC. We are going with all the default values right now, because let's first learn about EC2 and then let's get deep into it about security groups needed in order to access this particular EC2. And configuration storage is elastic block storage. This is also free till 30 GB. You can add volumes as many as you want, and we can remove them at the same time. Let's just see what exactly we got in advanced details. We got IAM instance profile. If you need any new IAM instance profiles in order to access your EC2, you can use them. And there are a bunch of options that are really not needed as of now, but one good example is termination protection. So if you enable termination protections, we can see what exactly it says in here. If enabled, the instance can't be terminated using the console. See, so if we enable this one, this particular instance cannot be terminated using console. So you can only terminate either using API or CLI, or else you have to disable the termination protection first in order to terminate the instance using AWS console. But let's keep it as it is. And these are purchasing options. So what exactly purchasing options is, based upon the purchasing options, your instances are priced. And spot instances, we can have questions based on these things in exams, which I will discuss later. But uh, spot instances are really good type of instances, good purchasing option where we can save huge amount of money. And I'm not making any changes over there. You can read what exactly spot instances here. You request a spot instance which is available for less than the on-demand price. See, the price is really less, but the spot instances can be interrupted, so we use them for applications with flexible runtime. So the spot instances, so whenever they are free instances with AWS, they provide you, instead of sitting them idle, they provide you for your workload. But whenever someone is asking or accessing or requesting those instances, they're gonna stop your workload and move those instances to some other person who is paying high price for them, and they get back to you whenever they are idle, they are not in use. So you can use, but you gonna pay very less price for spot instances. Let's launch our instance. That's it. So your instance is created, and this is your first instance which is running. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to run, and you can say our instance state, we can stop the instance, but stopping the instance is not equal to terminating the instance. And there are a bunch of actions you can do over here. Okay, so let's see how we can connect to our instance. There are four ways to connect to our instance. The easiest one is EC2 instance connect. If you already use all these predefined things and click on connect, you're gonna connect to your EC2 instance on browser. So how can you confirm you're on EC2 instance? If you use the command pwd, which is present working directory, you looks at your present working directory, which is home EC2 server, and this one shows you're on your server. There is one other way to connect, which is SSH, which is used by most of the people. So how do you connect using SSH? So you go to your terminal. If you don't have an SSH client, you install your SSH client, because for Windows we don't have SSH client. For Linux or Mac we do have pre-built SSH client, so we don't need to install it. And you run this command to make sure that your key is not publicly visible. And then this is the complete command which helps you to SSH into your server. So SSH, and then you're providing your key pair, and then you're using what user, the username. If it's a different, by default it is EC2 user, but if you're using a different user, you have to specify a different user, and then you connect using the public DNS of your server. So now, okay, looks like, okay, yeah, now I understood. So looks like I'm not able to connect SSH into my server. Why? Because my particular key pair is not in this particular path, so it is in downloads. So now if I try to SSH into my server, I can SSH into my server. See, now I can SSH into my server. How can I confirm I am in my server? The one major thing is the starting point, which says EC2 user, and the IP address, or else you can also use present working directory, which says home and EC2 user. So in this way you can connect to your EC2 instance either using EC2 instance connect and SSH client. Thank you all, see you again.